of stomach. That is esophagus. Here it is stomach. That is liver. Here it is portal vein, vena porta. And you already know that vena gastrica sinistra directly goes to portal vein. And from abdominal department of esophagus, vena esophagealis, the same goes to vena gastrica sinistra. And other esophageal veins, vena esophagealis, goes to vena azygos, and vena azygos inflow into superior vena cava. That is vena cava superior, and vena azygos inflow into superior vena cava. That is why vena esophagealis number 1, and here it is the same number 1. They are vena esophagealis. In abdominal department, they goes to vena gastrica sinistra number 2, and it goes to vena porta number 3. And in thoracic department, into vena azygos number 4, and vena azygos goes to superior vena cava, that is number 5. Anastomosis in the region of esophagus. Portocaval anastomosis. Now, anastomosis in the region of ascendens and descendens colon. That is colon ascendens, here it is colon descendens. That is vena cava inferior, here it is vena lumbalis, and blood from posterior wall of ascendens and descendens colon can goes to inferior vena cava. But from ascendens colon, the same we know, vena colica dextra, it continues into vena mesenterica superior. From descendens colon, vena colica sinistra, it continues into vena mesenterica inferior, and together with vena lienalis goes to vena porta, and vena porta goes to liver. That is number 1, vena colica dextra, number 2, vena mesenterica superior, number 3, vena colica sinistra, number 4, vena mesenterica inferior, if you want vena lienalis, and number 6, vena porta. Here it is vena lumbalis, and H, that is inferior vena cava. Now, can you give me another page? Thank you. Anastomosis in the region of rectum. That is a rectum. That is a rectum. Here it is common. That is inferior vena cava. Common iliac. That is internal and external iliac. And from internal iliac we have vena pudenda interna. It inflows into internal iliac. That is why vena rectalis inferior goes to vena pudenda interna. Vena rectalis media directly goes into internal iliac vein, and vena rectalis superior, it goes to vena mesenterica inferior, and mesenterica inferior joined with mesenterica superior and vena lienalis and forms vena porta. Vena porta goes to liver. That is portal vein. Number 1, vena rectalis superior. Number 2, vena mesenterica inferior. Number 3, vena porta. Number 4, vena rectalis media. 5, vena iliaca interna. 6, vena iliaca communis. 7, vena cava inferior. And number 8, vena rectalis inferior. And number 9, vena pudenda interna. And last diagram, that is circulation of fetus. That is placenta. Here it is placenta. And oxygenated blood from placenta through vena umbilicalis, that is a vein, but oxygenated blood through vena umbilicalis goes to portal vein, and that is liver. Here it is portal vein, and vena umbilicalis insert into portal vein, and ductus venosus with oxygenated blood goes to inferior vena cava, vena cava inferior, that is inferior vena cava. And here it is oxygenated blood, and here deoxygenated blood, and blood mixed. First mixing of blood take place in place where ductus venosus inflow into inferior vena cava. Inferior vena cava goes to right atrium, and here it is the same portion of venous blood through vena hepatis, the same inflow into inferior vena cava, and here it is blood mixed one again, because deoxygenated blood from liver inflow into inferior vena cava, and this mixed blood from inferior vena cava directly goes through what? Foramen avale into left atrium. From left atrium goes to left ventricle, and from left ventricle start from left ventricle? Aorta. That is aorta. And aorta subdivides into common iliac arteries, internal and external. And from internal iliac artery, umbilical arteries, arteria umbilicalis, together with vena umbilicalis, goes to placenta through umbilical cord. Now, the same venous blood through superior vena cava goes to right atrium. From right atrium, it goes to right ventricle. And what starts from right ventricle? Truncus pulmonalis. Truncus pulmonalis continues into right and left pulmonary arteries, but pulmonary circulation in fetus, it is not so important because lungs not participate in breathing. That is why most part of venous blood, deoxygenated blood, through ductus arteriosus goes from pulmonary trunk to aorta. That is ductus arteriosus. It's insert into aorta below from the left subclavian artery, below from the level of left subclavian artery, and that is place where blood mixed one again. And this blood, it is mixed blood, but this blood is poor with oxygen, because a lot of venous blood insert into aorta through ductus arteriosus, and this mixed blood goes to common iliac, then internal iliac, and continues to placenta through umbilical arteries. Labels: number 1, that is placenta; number 2, vena umbilicalis; number 3, vena porta; number 4, ductus venosus; number 5, inferior vena cava; number 6, vena hepatis; number 7, that is foramen avale; number 8, aorta; then number 9, common iliac arteries; number 10, external; and number 11, internal iliac arteries; and number 12, arteria umbilicalis. Then 13, vena cava superior; 14, truncus pulmonalis; if you want 15, that is arteria pulmonalis; and number 16, ductus arteriosus. What happened after the birth? After delivery of fetus, we cut umbilical cord, and vena umbilicalis, it closed, replaced with connective tissue and forms a ligamentum. Which ligament of the liver? Teres, hepatis, good. Ductus venosus closed and makes ligament, ligamentum venosum. Do you remember on the liver, fissura ligamenti venosi? That is place where venous ligament take place. Then foramen ovale closed and makes fossa ovalis, and ductus arteriosus closed and makes ligament, ligamentum arteriosum, and arteria umbilicalis, they in the beginning they gives arteria vesicalis, but all another umbilical arteries they also closed and makes ligament, ligamentum umbilicalis medialis. That is, I think it is most difficult diagram, circulation of fetus, but you should know all of these diagrams next time. That is 100% that I give you written test and you will draw. And our last classes in this semester, that is final lesson on venous and lymphatic system. And first question will diagrams, you will draw anastomosis or circulation of fetus, and second question, that is lymphatic outflow from inner organs. That is why you will not write names of branches of superior vena cava or inferior vena cava. Only you will draw diagrams in question on venous system. And some organs, lymphatic outflow from some organs, the same in final lesson. That is all.